Welcome, everyone. This is Jackie Christensen, and this is the weekly Sisel product call. So glad you've joined us tonight. Tonight's call is about Balance D. If you're new to the call, welcome. So glad to have you. We record this call and post it in the Sisel Academy, and also we post it on our Sisel Success Team page on Facebook. That is an open group if you'd like to join us. We have a lot of resources there in the back office of that group under Files. So tonight's call is about Balance D, and we will get right into it. As you know, it is a brand new product. Just came out a few weeks ago, and it is Sisel's answer to a wonderful fiber product, but also with prebiotics, probiotics, and vitamin D. So as you know, Sisel makes the best products available, and all of our products are state-of-the-art, cutting edge, based on the latest scientific research and published medical studies. If you didn't know, we have 20 full-time research scientists on staff at Sisel, just researching the research and developing and creating new products, as well as improving the products that we already have. So what is Balance D? Well, Balance D, as I mentioned, it's a healthy answer to a very happy intestinal tract. So it is setting a new standard in the category of fiber. It is important to have both good and bad bacteria. You have to have a balance of the two in your gut, and the gut is really the starting point of your immune system. So the optimal situation is where the good bacteria far outnumber the bad, and you might have heard of probiotics if you have been on an antibiotic, because an antibiotic, if you have a bacterial infection and you've been on that for a course, it will wipe out all the bacteria in your intestinal tract, not just the bad. So it takes time for that flora, as it's called, to build back up to a healthy level, but it takes time. And it takes a minimum of a few weeks. And during that time, you are more susceptible to illness because you don't have your good bacteria to fight off any intruders, viruses, and things like that. So you may have been told to take a probiotic either during the course of your antibiotic or right after your antibiotic to help replace that good bacteria. So the job of the intestinal bacteria is to help us digest food. It's also to help us absorb nutrients and keep viruses and bad bacteria and so forth in check. Now, the fiber in the Balance D, this is important to everyone's diet, but there are other basic elements that are often overlooked to the health of our gastrointestinal tract. So these elements, which are all found in Balance D, are prebiotics, probiotics, fiber, and vitamin D. So Balance D combines all of these and creates a synergistic blend that offers optimal digestive support. So the question most people have is, what are probiotics and what are prebiotics? So let me just distinguish those two. When it comes to bacteria, you probably already know that there's the good and the bad. Well, probiotics are the good bacteria, and this good bacteria helps our bodies stay healthy by maintaining the right balance and not letting the bad bacteria take over. So this is really important when it comes to the health of our colon. So most often, the good bacteria come from two groups, from Lactobacillus and Bifidobacterium. Now, Balance D has the Lactobacillus. We'll get into that in just a few minutes. But there are many different types of bacteria that fall into these two groups, but we'll always start with the group name. You can find them advertised on products like yogurt and certain types of milk, so it may sound familiar to you, especially yogurt. Yogurt is touted as, the good flora and put the probiotics back in your system. Now, what are prebiotics? Prebiotics, it can be confusing to hear this, but they are the food for the probiotics. So in order to keep the right amount of good bacteria in your intestines, you need to feed it the right food to keep it there. So the prebiotic creates the environment. Prebiotics are just food for probiotics. That's it. So there are many good things that can feed good bacteria. These include things like milk products again, and yogurt, and inulin, and inulin fibers found in many fruits and vegetables and grains and things like that. And we'll get into those specifics in just a few moments. Okay, so let's talk about the ingredients in the Balance D. The first ingredient is organic microfiber, and this comes from apple fiber, chicory root, and maltodextrin. I'll be telling you exactly what those are. These are the microfibers that work by creating a long-chain polymer that grab, bond, and remove excess waste from the lower intestine. Also, vitamin D, Balance D contains 300 units or IU of vitamin D per serving, which helps your body absorb calcium, promotes bone growth, and is linked to fighting against breast cancer, colon cancer, prostate cancer, heart disease, depression, weight gain, and other maladies. All right, so let's get right into it. The first ingredient on the bottle that you see on Balance D says resistant maltodextrin. What is that? Well, digestive resistant maltodextrin, also known as DR, is a polysaccharide produced from brown rice. Sounds good already, doesn't it? Unlike regular maltodextrin, this is not digestible by humans, thus it does not contribute calories or carbohydrates to the diet. It's basically roughage that moves through your system. So this resistance to digestion is the reason that digestive DR, how about that, maltodextrin can help prevent insulin resistance and diabetes by normalizing blood glucose levels when given as a supplement. So it's not only healthy for your digestive tract, but also has other benefits as well. Now, as you all know, diabetes is a growing health concern, and supplementation with resistant maltodextrin might be a safe and effective way to improve health. Now, DR maltodextrin can also help restore the proper balance of health-promoting bacteria to potential disease-causing bacteria in the intestine. Beneficial bacteria in the gut are able to use it as a source of energy. Fermentation of digestive-resistant maltodextrin by bacteria produces short-chain fatty acids, which lowers the pH in the intestines, further encouraging the growth of beneficial bacteria and inhibiting the growth of pathogenic bacteria. So combined with inulin fiber, daily use of DR maltodextrin, as in the Balance D, has been shown to improve chronic constipation. It also provides anti-cancer effects, and a diet containing this product was also able to protect the intestinal cells against DNA damage when exposed to carcinogen. So all good stuff. Now, let's talk about the prebiotic. The prebiotic is the chicory root inulin fiber. That is the second ingredient on the Balance D bottle or label. So chicory root helps to create an ideal environment where probiotics can thrive. Remember, prebiotics are food and fuel for probiotics and set the proper environment for the probiotics to flourish. Inulin fiber, chicory root, is a carbohydrate belonging to a class of compounds known as fructans and are closely related to fructosaccharides, also known as FOS. You might have seen that before. But they're not the same, but you'll find them used interchangeably. These are all starches or carbohydrates. They just vary in different structures. Now, since inulin is not absorbed from the gastrointestinal tract, it is considered to be a fiber. Again, it just passes through. It's found naturally, mostly in root vegetables, and tiny amounts are found in onions, garlic, while larger amounts are found in chicory root, Jerusalem artichokes, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Sometimes you'll find different carbohydrate levels. Some are high in inulin, and sometimes they don't contain any. Because it isn't digested in the upper gastrointestinal tract, it reaches the large intestine intact, where it's fermented by your native bacteria. Lots going on in your large intestine and small intestine. We just take this all for granted and expect it all to work. But now you know the importance of keeping that gut health intact and keeping it healthy. So currently, inulin or chicory root fiber is promoted as a prebiotic and as a fiber supplement together. So remember, the prebiotics are defined as non-digestible food ingredients that beneficially affect the host by selectively stimulating the growth and or activity of one or more limited number of bacteria in the colon, and thus improve host health. All right. Probably more than you ever wanted to know about your gut health. But there's more. There's more. Let's see here. Skip the studies. Just a little caution, okay, a little warning. Long-term use of inulin fiber is not prescribed, or not suggested, I should say, except that found in its natural state. Like if you were actually eating chicory root or you were eating Jerusalem artichokes in their natural state are the best. There's been one documented case of an allergic reaction to inulin ever. So, you know, the safety is very, very high, but you have to, you know, just be cautious. Since you are representing our products, you know, I always tell people, you know, to watch for this or watch for that. For example, the Eternity, there's the regular Eternity that has an energy blend, and then there's one that is essential Eternity that doesn't have the energy blend. And some people are sensitive to caffeine, me being one of them, a guarana, and gives me heart flutter and palpitations. I can't have that particular Eternity. I have to have the essential. So if you know anything about the products, you always want to ask someone those questions. While we're on the subject, just as a quick side note, as far as the Fucoidan goes, if someone is on a blood thinner anticoagulant, then you do not want to suggest Fucoidan, for example. Those are the only two. Those are the only two that have any sort of possibility of a negative response or a negative side effect. Okay, just be aware. All right, so you can tell if someone tells you, no, I tried the Balance D and it's giving me gas and bloating and cramps and abdominal pain or diarrhea, then you know that they are a little intolerant of it. Okay, just means they're intolerant. Now, basically, the worse the natural population of bacteria and yeast is in that person's colon, in other words, the more junk food they've eaten and the less healthy they are, the worse the symptoms of intolerance. So they have to start slow. So you want to scale back the amounts that they take. So some studies have shown that people who do not regularly ingest a lot of fiber and healthy food and inulin have a little bit of a sensitivity to it. So there's 3 categories of sensitivity. There's non-sensitive, and they can actually have up to 30 grams a day. That's a lot. You want to shoot for 20 to 25, even 30 grams of general fiber a day. Number 2 would be sensitive person. Some sensitive persons can consume about 10 grams, and then some are just extremely sensitive and don't tolerate it at all, even 10 grams. So the amount of fiber in our product is 3 grams. So we're well below that 10 milligram, even for, you know, someone that is sensitive to it. So, all right, the next ingredient is apple fiber. as in the fruit. And pectin is the type of fiber that apple has, and it is found in all plant cell walls and tissues. And in this case, it's found also in the skin. So while all fruits and plants contain pectin, the amount and concentration of pectin varies among the plants. Apples contain a particularly high amount, and the highly concentrated apple pectin delivers many health benefits. It's found in the skin and the pulp of the fresh apples. So it is a soluble fiber. Now, soluble fiber is fiber that can be dispersed or spread in water. So, for example, if you leave oatmeal, a good source of soluble fiber, in water too long, you'll see that a gel-like substance forms in the water. Well, apple pectin is a rich source of soluble fiber, and it plays an important role in the prevention and treatment of disease also. So not only good for colon health, but good for your heart. American Heart Association says that adding soluble fiber to your diet will reduce your risk of heart disease and reduce your bad cholesterol levels, even more so than following a low-fat diet alone. So it reduces the amount of cholesterol that is absorbed in the intestines. So there you go. In fact, just a nice little study that was done. A trial involved subjects eating 2 apples a day for 2 weeks. At the end of the 2 weeks, tests showed that the content of bad bacteria in fecal matter had decreased while the levels of good bacteria increased. Also, the scientists concluded that increasing apple intake improved the intestinal environment. And that's the apple pectin in particular that helps do the job. All right, let's talk about probiotics. The probiotics in the Balance D are found in the Acidophilus and the Bulgaricus and the Rhamnosus, Rhamnosus. They're all infused in Balance D, and then when these probiotics enter your body, they flourish because of that prebiotic found in the chicory root inulin fiber. So don't forget that when probiotics are broken down, they eradicate the harmful bacteria from your GI tract. I remember when my kids were young and I was explaining this to them. We actually had a book on the body, and there were just beautiful pictures of how your body worked, and pictures of your gut flora, and pictures of phagocytes and macrophages that actually engulf the bacteria. Really cool pictures. I remember explaining to them the best way to understand what that good flora is in your body, what those probiotics are. They are the good soldiers. They are the combat soldiers that are standing at the gate, and if an intruder comes in, a bad guy bacteria comes in, it's the one that annihilates them, okay? So make sure you have enough probiotics in your system. A couple other little notes on the Balance D. The bottle contains 210 capsules. The directions say to take 7 capsules once daily with 1 to 2 cups of water. So a full 8 to 16 ounces of water. So that's a month's supply. There are 10 calories. There are 3 grams of carbohydrates. There are 3 grams of fiber, so that you actually can subtract the fiber from the carbs, so it's net 0 carbs. Soluble fiber is 3 grams. Insoluble fiber, 0 grams. Vitamin D, 300 IU, and 0 sodium. So this is a proprietary blend, and it is something that Sisel offers that no other company offers. This product is unique to Sisel.